What's up, hooligans? I'm reviewing the Defender Mark 1 and seeing if it's really as good as people say it is, or if it's even worth your money. The hit points are average for a tier 8 medium at 1,537. The Mark 1 doesn't have any armor besides on the turret, with the front at 254 and both the sides and rear at 90. For the hull, the front is 76, sides 52, and rear 40. Like I said, not a whole lot of armor besides on the turret. We'll check that out more in Armor Inspector. V-range is very good at 302. You'll easily be able to spot the enemy for your team. Concealment is fairly decent for the Defender. Damage per minute isn't super crazy at 2,045, but that is to be expected from an autoloader. The magazine reload time is decently long at 16.30 seconds, and the shell reload time is alright at 2 seconds. You'll get 4 rounds in the magazine, and it will take you about 6 seconds to get the entire magazine off. Penetration is pretty good. You'll pin most tanks that you come up against, but you will struggle to pin enemies with thicker armor. The AP is at 237, APCR 271, and HE 46. Damage isn't anything amazing, but if you're able to get all 4 shots of your magazine into the enemy, you can deal around 700 to 800 damage. With the AP at 190, APCR 160, and HE 250. It will vary depending on high and low rolls. Aiming time is pretty quick, sitting at 2.6 seconds, and dispersion is decent, being 0.308. Gun elevation and depression are superb, with the elevation at 18 and depression at 10 degrees. So in most situations you find yourself in, you'll be effective. That is, if you know what you're doing. The Mark 1 won't be the fastest medium, but it is still fairly quick, with the top speed going forward 46, in reverse 20, and average speed at 40. You'll easily be able to spot, flank, reposition, and support your team if needed. The turn rates are amazing, with the turret at 43.74 and hull at 57.16 degrees a second. I can't tell you how many times these turn rates have saved me in battles. The terrain crossing capacity and engine power look very good for the Defender. I'll flash the consumables, provisions, ammunition, and equipment on the screen. You could use it as a template or copy it. That's just how I like to use the Mark 1. The credit coefficient is good at 175%, so you'll be making some moolah. Never do that again. Anyways, the armor isn't anything special when it comes to the hull. Everyone will be able to pin the upper and lower plates no problem. You could always try wiggling it to make it harder for people to pin you. However, the turret is what makes the Mark 1 really good. It is extremely strong and not many people will pin it. The only real spot is the cupola, if they could even hit it. Or if you're going up against an enemy that has really high pin, but even then they will struggle to pin you, as you will see in the replays. You also get some spaced armor on the cheeks right here. It goes without saying that everyone will pin your sides and rear no problem. So how would you play the Defender Mark 1, and what are some tactics you could use to play the medium effectively? Since the Defender is an autoloader, it does have to rely on the team. I would first go and spot the enemy for my team if no one else is. Then I would go into a supporting role in a haul down position. This is where the Mark 1 is the strongest and will shine the most. Peekaboo is very good, especially if you're able to get the whole magazine off, but don't feel pressure to, because sometimes you'll just get lit up by the enemy. You can trade if the situation calls for it, but preferably you want to try and avoid doing this. Circle of Death is decent when going up against a tank that doesn't have the best turning speeds, and if you could clip them out. If not, you could be punished or taken out while doing this. Sniping long range isn't the best, but if you have shots, you could take them. You would rather want to be mid to close range. This is the sweet spot for the Mark 1. Hit and run depends on if you know you could get the magazine off and get away safely before they can react or hit you. Finally, 1v1s. It completely depends on the situation, like if you could easily take them out and have enough HP to take the damage. But preferably you would like your team with you to easily support you and take out the enemy. That is how you want to play the Defender Mark 1, but it entirely depends on the situations you're in and how the battle is going. Sometimes you have to be more aggressive and rush an enemy, or stay frontline to keep the enemy spotted for your team. Just use common sense and you'll perform well. If you think I left out any important information or tactics, please leave them in the comments below for others to learn. Immediately, I am crossing the river, as you should always do on this map. I have had so many games where the mediums did not cross the river and lost the battle. So if you're a medium and your team is pushing this way, just do everyone a favor and cross the river up to this hill. I get a bounce from the E75, and since the Yag Tiger is just sitting out in the open, I'm going to switch to APCR and empty the rest of my magazine into him. I'm being more aggressive and not letting anybody push up this hill. It is a very strong position, and whoever controls this hill could easily get shots into the team at base C. And whoever pushes up it, I will will severely punish or send back to the garage, like the T-26E4. This is also a very good position for tanks that could go haul down and have good gun depression like the Defender Mark 1. I pushed up a little bit too far there and the Waffle Tractor was able to punish me, but I'm still gonna focus the E4 just to make sure a gun gets out of the game. Recently I developed a bad habit of right when I'm about to shoot, I zoom out into third person and it completely screws up the shot. As you just witnessed on the T-26E4, it is such a bad habit to develop. Just stay in sniper mode until you get the shot off. Trust me, you'll thank me later. I'm keeping track of the enemy positions and trying to figure out which one would be the best target to go after. I noticed the Progetto 46 pushing up on the hill, so I try to reposition to see if I could get some shots into him. I could only see a very little amount of his turret, so I aim it all the way just to make sure the shot goes through and it connects. He looks right at me and I'm able to get a shot into his cupola. I don't know if that was just RNG or if the tank's gun is more accurate than I thought it was, but that was a nice shot. I don't get much time to think about that though, because I noticed that the Tiger 2 is pushing my right side. I don't have enough time to go on a full reload, so I just switch to APCR, get the rest of my magazine into him, and hopefully my team can support me and take him out. And the Waffle Tractor takes care of him. I noticed that the Yag Tiger and E75 are pushing very aggressively down the river. I think they were trying to flank my team or just catch them off guard, but they just put themselves in a very bad spot. All I have to do is stay in this position right here and wait for them to go into my crosshairs, empty the entire magazine into them, get like 800 damage. And the Yag Tiger just happens to make that exact mistake. And he just sits there and takes it. He doesn't even try to run away, so we end up leaving him on a one shot. I'm on a reload, so I decided to check the enemy positions, and I noticed that the Progetto 46 is trying to make his way up my hill. He's an easy two shot, so I'm not too worried, even if he ends up rushing me. I stop to see what he's going to do, but our Waffle Tractor ends up taking him out, so I don't have to worry about him anymore. The last time I remember seeing the Waffle Tractor, he was over to the right hand side, so I try to sneak my way up and see if I could get some shots into the E75. But he is now spotted on the left hand side. Since I don't have to worry about him getting shots into me, I just pull up, finish off the E75, and get the rest of my magazine into him. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what he was trying to do here. I feel like he would have been better off staying over to the right side and sniping us as we try to push up on him. He ends up getting a good shot into my AMX, but is not able to finish him off. But he is going to get torn apart by my team. He really had no chance. And all that's left is the T28 that decided to go A. Don't be the one idiot that goes to the complete opposite side of the map from your team, especially in a slow tank like the T28. I honestly don't know what he was thinking. Like, why? Just use common sense, man. But we are going to be able to get a bit more damage and take him out of the game, securing the win. We got 3,172 damage, 1,320 damage blocked, 3 tanks destroyed, and the first class. That doesn't seem like 175% credit coefficient, but hey, we got some credits. And top on the leaderboard. We pushed over to base A on this map. I don't exactly make the smartest play at the start. I just kind of sit out in the open and wait for the AMX to pull back, and in the process of doing that, I get hit by enemy. Never do this. If you just sit out in the open, the enemy will light you up. I stayed a little bit longer to see if I could get some shots into the AMX, but then decided to look to make sure nobody had shots on me. It doesn't look like the Type 59 is going to pull out again, so I refocus the AMX Defender and I get a good couple shots into him before I take him out. Just for the record, that's not how you play the tank. If you want to know how to play the AMX, I have a review on the channel. Go check it out once you're done watching this video. The Type 59 decided to rush out. I try to snap a shot into him, but it ricocheted off his turret. I'm on a long reload, so if anybody decides to rush in, my team will be there supporting me. Always know where your teammates are at, especially when you're in an autoloader. That Type 59 just got wrecked by my team. He is lowered down to a one shot, and I could easily clip out that AMX 30. I only pull out when I'm fully reloaded, and I could easily take a hit from that AMX and clip him out of the game. I still have one more round in the magazine, so before I go on a reload, I start checking for more targets, and the Yo is just sitting out in the open, so I snap a shot into him and pull back into cover. I'm observing the battle and seeing how it's going when I notice our T-54 is over on the enemy side. How he got over there, don't ask me, but he is getting severely punished for doing that. I'm almost reloaded, so I start getting into position to get shots on the Yo. I quickly check my right, and I have to do a double take because I didn't realize the Action X was going to rush us like that. I start focusing him, thinking he was going to start rushing me, but he was really going for our T-54. He completely ignored me. He's rushing out into the open, and he's distracted, so I'm just going to dump my whole clip into him. It's free damage. I pull out a little bit too far and he gets a shot into me, but I quickly correct that and back up into cover. I put the building between myself and the AMX so he can't get any more shots on me, but I refocus my attention towards Theo and start backing up towards him. I believe he is on a full reload, so I don't have to worry about him getting shots into me, and I could easily clip him out of the game. I still have one more shot left, so I'm looking for my next victim, and I noticed that the T-54 is rushing our waffle tractor. I try to get in position to help out our waffle tractor and get my last shot off into the T-54. But since I know he's in a lot of trouble with the 54 coming down on him, I try to move over there as fast as possible, and hopefully we will be able to save him. And by the time I get to him, I should just be finishing up my reload. He gets a pretty decent hit on our TD, lowering him down to a one shot, but unfortunately for him, I just arrived and I'm done with my reload. Sadly, the 54 takes out our waffle tractor, but I am able to take him out in return. Is the Defender Mark 1 worth it? If you're looking to get a Defender series tank, then yes, it is easily the best out of the 4. But if you're looking for a premium tank and it just happens to be in stores, maybe. Don't get me wrong, the Mark 1 is very good and strong if you know how to play it, but I believe there is a little bit of a skill gap to playing the tank. Because if you don't know how to use it, you won't perform well and you just won't like playing the tank. That's how I was. When I first got it, I didn't really know how to play it and I did not enjoy playing it at all. But after revisiting the medium, I know the playstyle and I actually quite enjoy using it. But I would choose other tier 8 mediums over the Mark 1. Do you think the Mark 1 is the best Defender series tank? Or do you think there are other mediums that you would choose over it? Let me know in the comments. Did you enjoy this review? Check this one out. I think you'll like it too.